Dead podcast number 2. I'm here with YungB. What's up, Young?
What's good, y'all? Not much. How about y'all?
I don't know, man. Just chilling. You know, Coronacation time. Doing nothing much other than just sitting inside. Yourself?
Not much. Just chilling.
Yeah. You still working, eh?
Yeah.
How's that, man? At the grocery
Crazy.
store, dude? Shit's going crazy,
Yeah.
eh?
Everybody's fucking paranoid as hell.
Yeah, man. Yeah, about that, dude. It's so fucked, man. Like, honestly, everywhere you go, you have to be in like a huge ass line that's like wrapped around the block. Is it the same where you're at down in Hamilton?
Yeah.
You have to like.
It's all like our store's all sectioned off and then like taped up,
Yeah.
like where you need to walk.
Fuck,
Now they're
man.
making it to where like you gotta wear a mask or they're gonna send you home.
Really?
Shit like that.
Even the customers?
Not the customers, just the employees.
All right. Yeah, that makes a little sense. Everyone's trying to like stay separated up here too. There's like store limits of how many people could be inside the store and shit like that.
Yeah, we have that too.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, man. What do you think Corona's gonna like? Do you think there's gonna come in waves? Because it seems like they're already wanting to open up everything again.
I don't think there's gonna be waves of it. It's more so gonna be like a long, prolonged thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing is, like the people don't take the right precautions in that. How fast this strain of it can spread.
Mm-hmm.
There's multiple strains of it, obviously, but
Yeah, I've been hearing that
people
some
don't
people
take the right.
yeah, some people aren't even getting like any sort of side effects or anything like that, and then some people are just getting absolutely fucking bombed. It's like it's
Yeah, if you have a
mutating
strong
already.
immune system, you would never even know that you had it.
Yeah, true. But even then, like, it feels like it's mutating almost in a sense that some people,
Yeah.
even if you're young and you're healthy, like some people are getting fucked up. They're like getting blood clots in their and shit like that. It's pretty fucked. Supposedly it
The
affects.
moment they start messing with vaccines, it's gonna mutate badly.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, it's not going to be good, man. So you think that it's not going to come in waves? You think it's just going to be like a steady kind of I don't know, prolonged thing, eh? Until we find a vaccine.
Not even after a vaccine, because like how easily this could spread. Just like all it takes is one person to go out in public not knowing it or
Yeah.
thinking that it's gone, and they don't do a proper test, and next thing you know, boom, everything's all spread again.
Yeah. That's it's not good, man. So I have a question. Like, I don't think I've ever asked you, where did you come up with your name, YungB? How did you come up with that?
Well, my last name starts with a B, and then I'm the youngest sibling in my family.
Ah, shit. Okay, I see. I thought it had something to do with like Bloods or something like that. Damn, man.
You go good with it though.
Yeah, it would.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. I was wondering, how long have you been gaming? Like since PlayStation 1? Or like before that?
See, I never I had like Super Nintendos, the NES, but I wasn't into really gaming much back then. It's more so when PlayStation 1 came out,
Mm-hmm.
I remember getting one for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And then I got Crash Bandicoot,
Yep.
Tomba.
What is Tomba? I've never heard of that one.
It's like a old school platformer. You're like some like caveman with like pink hair and shit.
Got you. I remember
And then,
Crash and Spyro. I bet you played Spyro.
Yeah, Spyro was the shit. And then Final Fantasy 7. And that was the one main game that got me into gaming, like taking it serious.
Yeah, man. And I heard, yeah, you were just posting in our Discord saying that you beat Sephiroth hard mode in the new remake.
Dear God.
So, yo, what happened? So, what were you struggling with? And then what did you change to be able to complete it?
So what I did, I was stacking, I was like relying, because everybody that plays hard mode, if you don't know, the items are turned off. So basically, like, there's no Phoenix Downs and there's no spamming potions or anything like that to get, or ethers and that to give you more MP to heal. It's just like you got a certain amount of MP per chapter and you have to make do with it.
And so
So
MP
I was
is,
just stacking so much like magic points.
got you. And so like a heal will take up a certain amount of magic points, and then you won't be able to, I guess like re up on your MP for that battle.
It does regen slowly over time, but they do have like benches on normal mode and other modes of it to where you can just sit down and it fully restore your health and your magic points. But in hard mode, it only restores your magic point, or not your health. Sorry.
Okay, so you finally beat it, and you changed up the fact that instead of going really defensive, you started going a little bit offensive.
Oh, I went a full 100% offensive, and then I'm like, because I got pissed off because the last time I played it, I was clicking the buttons too quick, and then I returned to the title screen, and then I accidentally selected easy, and I hard quit out of my game, and then I went back into it. It put me at the beginning of the fight. I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this another time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me try this. So I put everybody in full DPS setup, like barely any MP. Well, it's still a decent amount because I had like the maxed out materials and that. And then, yeah, I was like, did I forget to switch this off easy mode or something?
So it's like a 180 difference, dude.
Yeah, because that one item with the Gauntnum or whatever it's called, it's like this item that automatically starts you off with the limit gauge full, and then it'll like fill over time, which is you're not beating Sephiroth or the last boss without it.
And so, did you look up a guide to complete that, or did you just like say, "Fuck it, I'll just try up something different," and it worked?
Well, I looked at 2 different ones, but I didn't use either of their setups, like because the one relied on just like your parrying skills, and the other one relied on just like sheer luck.
Got you.
So I'm like, you know what? Seeing as because beforehand I didn't have the magic point boost material, I didn't have that maxed out, or the HP ones. So I'm like, seeing as I have those maxed out, let me see if I can go to these DPS weapons and then have still a decent amount of magic points. And then I did. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna try this out. And the way that I was getting like the limits off of the cloud, a few of them I got lucky with, and I hit like all 3 of the things at once, so it put them all in stagger mode, and then I used the ability, and then it hit all 3 of them. I was like, damn.
Fucking ballin'.
Okay.
Yeah, you figured out the cheat code.
I was like, thank God.
Damn. So you've been gaming for as long as I've been gaming, I guess, since PS1, man. We've been PlayStation all the way through, right? PS1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think about PS5? Are you gonna get it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you think it's gonna be anything crazy in terms of the hardware?
Oh yeah.
Well, what do you think is gonna?
It's gonna be a lot. The whole 8K thing. Like, I know the processors and everything are gonna be a little bit stronger, and then the coolant for the system, like.
Yeah, because right now the fucking PlayStation is just roaring every time you start up an intense game. It sounds like a jet engine. It would be sick if they like once just like made it almost like a fucking PC and just water cooled it and just, you know what I mean?
Imagine.
That would be sick.
Pour a bottle of water in it and just fucking.
Well, no, you'd have to use some type of like coolant or whatever, the proper coolant, but it's
I never seen like a water cooled one.
Yeah, true. So how long have you been streaming, dude? Do you know how long you've been streaming for? A couple months or so?
I'd say about 7 months, maybe.
Nice. And was that like, what games did you want to start streaming? Like, what made you start wanting to stream, I guess?
Well, I saw you like popping off. I'm like, oh shit, my man. And then I'm like, you know what? Seeing as he enjoys games just as much as I do, like, why not try this myself?
Exactly.
See how it goes. Give it a round.
And it doing so well so far?
Yeah, it's doing decent. I'm at like 350 followers, I think it is. Let me check.
Nice. And
at
what were the main games that you were
345.
playing?
I've just been mixing it up,
Mm-hmm.
like between RPG shooters, like going between Nintendo Switch and PlayStation.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Keep it always varying. You know, it's easier
They're
to do that instead
trying
of,
to
you know,
like the main
stick.
games
Yeah,
and shit.
exactly. Hit any new releases, shit like that. That's usually the best way to do it.
So I want to get a PS5. Let's get on top of the games right away, because there's going to be a lot of people that just wait.
Oh yeah,
So if you can take advantage of that, then
100%. All the new releases. But the thing is, do you think that any new releases they'll make it exclusive for the PS5, or do you think they'll make it so that they'll be released on the PS4 as well?
it's going to be on both consoles.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's
like
just,
there are going to be 8K games specifically for the PS5 probably, but
do you think?
I'm sure they're going to release the regular one.
Yeah, I'm just wondering because I'm thinking like, do I need to get a PS5 if I don't have to? If all the games are just going to be on PS4, yeah, it's going to look nice on the PS5. It'll probably run smoother, but maybe I should just, you know, stick with the PS4.
If you got the money, you might as well.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I wonder how much it's going to cost, man, because I remember PS3 and PS4s. The PS4 was actually not as expensive as the PS3 on launch. PS3 was like 600 something on launch. It was ridiculous.
Oh, more than that, bro. It was like a stock.
Yeah, it was. Really, you're not even lying. It was like 600 and something for just the console without tax, and then add on tax, add on an extra controller, a couple games, and you're looking at $1,000. That's what I dropped.
Think about it. Like when they first released it, those were the only 40 gigabyte ones too.
Yeah. Yeah, they were really bad. No, there was a 40 and there was an 80 or 60 or something like that. A 30 or 60. I remember getting the 60, I think. But yeah. I don't know. It was like,
I think that what they're gonna do is exactly what they did, because the whole reason why they made PS4 so cheap was because they introduced PlayStation Plus, where you pay as a subscription.
True. Yeah.
And they made their money back from doing that.
And I remember it used to be big into home. What do you think if they were to bring back a home for PS5? Would you be pumped for that?
I'd be down for it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
Just like that was like because like that's where originally well, I wouldn't say like more so like my clan started than that. It's more so where it excelled, because like originally I started my clan on World of Warcraft.
It was called Soldier, right, on World of Warcraft?
Man.
And then it
same shit with like Final Fantasy 7, like this Shinra Soldier program.
Yeah. Which is pretty sick, how it all like ties into like your gaming history. Man, it's pretty sick. And then it turned into an empire, basically. Multiple games across different titles, different branches. It's pretty serious. Yeah. It's awesome, man.
It's fucking crazy.
So you're also a trophy hunter on PlayStation, right? One of the top trophy hunters. Like, what level are you again?
I think I'm level 35-ish. 36, I think.
And it like progressively gets harder to level up in that, right?
Yeah.
Damn, man. How many trophies do you have?
I think like 8,200.
That's so insane. That must mean like how many trophies does a normal game have? Like 10?
I'd say around 20 to 50.
Jeez. So then how many games do you know how many games you've purchased?
A lot.
Yeah, like hundreds, right?
Thousands.
Fuck, man. Fucking thousands of games. I know that last time I was at your place, you had like a wall of just fully exclusive fucking like releases or something, right? Like special editions and shit. You still have that?
Yeah, let me turn it's right in the corner there.
Yeah. Turn on your light.
Let me turn my camera on.
Yeah.
Turn my light on, sorry.
Yeah.
1 second.
Hey, no worries. Look at that, man. Look at all of those, dude. It's stacked to the ceiling of just special releases, special editions. It's pretty fucking insane, man.
Yeah, like the 20th anniversary fucking controllers there. There's one on like near right there, and there's one up there.
That's crazy.
Still packaging in the headset.
Dude. That's so sick. That's a real game.
What I'm trying to do is with the 20th anniversary ones, I'm gonna try and get the whole set and just keep it keep
it rolling. 20th anniversary, 25, 30, or whatever like that.
Yeah.
That'll be sick. So
Well, I just keep it in the box and shit. If I don't open it, I think how much that's gonna be down the line.
Yeah, man. 100%. Especially if you collect all of them. That'll be awesome. So what trophies are you like most proud of then? If you have like 8,200, are there some crazy ones that like took you forever to fucking complete?
Little Big Planet 1. And then
What was so crazy about that one?
it's just hard in general. The amount of people you need and like the servers not being able to actually handle the amount of people you need to do some of the things.
Shit. So like how many people did you need for some of them?
I think 4 is the max.
So you needed 4 people to complete this like a certain like mission in order to whatever, get the trophy or something?
Yeah.
And then what other trophies were crazy?
The Defiance for PS3.
What was wrong? What was hard about that one?
They fucked the game up to where you could only beat the last boss by luck.
What do you mean by luck? How does that even work?
There's a glitch that in their coding that they screwed up to where he can mimic, like mirror literally all your moves, and like you literally were just beating him by luck, and that was like one of the main reasons most people didn't platinum that game.
Fuck. And then I remember one that I helped you with, the jump rope trophy, man. Remember that fucking one? Explain to the people what that is, dude. Explain to the people what the jump rope trophy is.
So basically, you have to literally pixel, because on the PS4 port for some reason they screwed it up to where you have to be pixel perfect 1,000 times in succession, like, and it speeds up it'll go fast and then slow, fast and then slow. So you have to be perfect on 1,000 jumps.
Yeah.
Or you fail.
Which is literally impossible. How you spent hours on it and then you just gave up, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually insane. And then what did you do to complete it? Or like what did we do to complete it?
Oh, that fucking the remote play shit, the remote play strategy.
So basically there's a strategy that we can use to, I guess, use a script that will automatically jump for us. That's like the most fucked up trophy that anyone can ever make. Make something where you have to jump pixel perfect 1,000 times in a row. It's unbelievable, man. But we did it through the fucking script, and hey, man, it worked. We got the hardest achievement, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, that was fucking. Oh, yeah, kudos to anybody that did that legit.
I don't think anyone could.
Honestly. No, there are people.
You think people did that legit? Yeah. Must have spent fucking hundreds of hours.
Very few, but
yeah, that's actually ridiculous. So we've been friends for like a fucking while, eh? Back since like middle school or some shit.
I think before that.
Yeah. It was just because I think our parents knew each other, right? From just chilling together, I guess, at the pub or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then we would hang out since like middle school or something, maybe even elementary school or something. What are some like stories back from middle school that we could like remember? I just remember like basically living back in Hamilton, back in those days, running from the cops after doing stupid shit. I remember the graveyard. There used to be like remember there was like a fence that was like they would always cut through it, and there would be like a shortcut
by like that. There's that right next to that place where like chicks would go to, like the abused housewives or whatever.
Abused women. I remember one time they had a sand pile out at the pavilion that they had in their little garden or whatever, and we were climbing on top of their pavilion and jumping into the sand pile for no fucking apparent reason, just because we're kids. We would climb up a tree on top of the roof and jump into a sand pile or something, and they called the cops on us. And then we like ran into a random building. I just remember knowing every building's passcode because I don't know, people would just tell everyone's passcodes together to enter the building.
The thing was, like, everybody knew fucking like, and there's someone that one of our boys in each one of these apartment buildings and shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Everyone knew each other's passcodes to get in. So if you're ever like getting just like chased by cops, you just dip into an apartment building, lock the door behind them, and fuck off the back, and then go into another apartment building and just like hop lobbies basically.
That's fucking jokes.
Yeah, that's what we used to do, man. Stupid shit, dude. You remember?
Yeah, we used to like fucking rip Nicky 9 door all the time too. I remember that.
I remember waiting for the buses. Do you remember Russian Kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, so one time he got a snowball and he put shaving cream in the middle of the snowball. It was like a holiday snowball. And he threw it at a fucking bus that was going by. And it just splattered all over the window. It was just like blue, like shaving cream all over the fucking window. And I remember putting like fart bags or whatever. Do you remember those little fart bag things?
Yeah.
On the road, and cars would like drive over them and shit.
Stink bombs and shit.
Bombs, yeah. Man, we were bad fucking kids, dude.
I remember fucking that one time when fucking that Colin kid and shit. Where he fucking started with you or not, whatnot. Man. And then I think I was either...
You ended it. And
I was crashing at your place for like, we were like having a sleepover type shit. Or you
so
called
for
me
anybody
up.
that doesn't know, back in the day, what I would do is to make extra money, I would steal my mom's weed and sell it. And so I sold it to this kid named Colin, and he's like, I was like, yo, he's like, can I get a couple grams? I'm like, yeah, man. All right. I don't have the money. Okay. Just get me back sometime. And then he's like, I think like 2-3 weeks go by, maybe even 4. I'm like, yo, do you have my money? And every time he's like, no, I don't have your money. But he's like walking around eating candy bars and shit. So he clearly is buying money, or like buying it with money. And so then I'm like, yo, give me my money right now, man. I need it right now. And then he's like, no, man, I don't owe you shit, or something like that. And then Dylan was sleeping over, and Dylan was with me at that time. And he was kind of scared of us because we were running up on him. And so he ran inside of his building, locked the door behind him, and then proceeded to call Dylan something that you shouldn't call him. Let's just say that. And then, yeah, there's a little a fight that broke out. I guess we planned. You planned to fight him, I guess, in the field, right?
Well, we tried. He ended up calling a couple of his homies up.
Yeah. And
then I ended up calling a few of my buddies up. And then he saw how many people we brought, and their crew dipped. But then I'm like, nah, I'm not letting this shit slide. So I ended up calling him out. I think it was after school or whatnot. I took a bus. Me and a few of my buddies, we took a bus. Like, we caught him right out. You know where Right Wingers is now?
Yep.
We caught him there. I'm like, yo, we're fighting now. Like, talk your shit now, pussy. Like, yeah, I'm face to face. You ain't hiding behind no door.
Yeah.
And then he was all shook.
Yeah, and then I remember, I think from then we went to the what's it called, the field that was for the hydro lines. We went there and we tried to make like a little fight ring inside of one of the hydro towers, and he just kept backing up and backing up and backing up. I just remember that you were like walking towards him, like, stop backing up. And he just kept backing up, and yeah, I think you got a couple swings in, and then he just like said, I'm done. And then
well, nah, like we were at that spot, and then the shop owner ran out. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Oh, I don't think I was there for that one. Oh yeah, I think, yeah, and then that's why we had to move, right?
Yeah. I'm like, all right, you're meeting here. I'm gonna catch you next time. We're gonna settle it.
Yeah.
And then he ended up calling a couple of his buddies up. One of them, which ended up jumping in a fight.
Well, that's not cool.
When I was fucking him up.
Yeah. It
was a big dude too. Like, he was like literally 3 times. We were all like not at that point the biggest kids, but
this kid was.
You got this motherfucker that's like 6'5", and we're all at like 5'8", 5'10" at the time.
Yeah. Just kind of fucked up, eh? So
like, I was like, obviously, like, just beating the shit out of him, fucking him up.
True.
And then homie fucking, because I was at the point where he fell, and I was about to get over top of him and just start wailing on him.
Yeah.
And then he ran in and just fucking boom tackled me off of it. And then my people stepped in.
I don't know. He's down. I guess he was getting upset that his buddy was down and you were still fucking going at it. I mean, that's what happens when there's no refs and like you talk mad shit. Like at the end of the day, man, if you get knocked down, like the fight goes until you're knocked out, basically.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, man. So, yeah, I remember that shit. I remember the same guy, Colin. He locked the French teacher in a portable. Like, you know how our school had like two, the middle school, Dalewood had two portables outside? He like locked her in and like held the door and wouldn't let her out. The poor lady was like, fucking, please let me out. And he's just like, no. I think he was locking her in because she made him, like, she pointed him out and said, say one of these sentences in French or something, and he couldn't do it and everyone laughed. And so he got upset. Do you remember when Scott fucking brained the paintball gun and shot up the fucking school with the paintball gun, dude? That shit was fucking hilarious, man.
Oh shit.
Did he get suspended from that?
Pretty sure that's why I got expelled.
Oh, fuck.
Bad for bringing the nunchucks.
Oh yeah, he brought nunchucks and put them in his locker. What was that one guy's name? O'Dane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell people
he's in jail now.
Yeah.
He just got a life sentence, I think.
Tell people how crazy he was back in middle school.
Right, like this kid, like we in our middle school we had an anger management class and shit that a few kids were that'd go to and shit. So one day he literally mentally snapped, started whipping desks around, like actually knocked the teacher out.
Yeah.
The assistant actually had to go fucking
this kid in middle
run
school,
for help.
This kid in middle school, like I'm not joking. This kid in middle school looked like a professional athlete. He was fucking ripped out of his mind. It looked like he was 30 years old and he worked out every single day. Like he was crazy jacked. Took him like 5 teachers. He like fucking fought them all off until the cops came. He even still fought all the cops off of him, dude.
So the fucking cops came.
Yeah.
They fucking tased him, which you're not supposed to tase a minor.
Yeah.
At that age, because they could legit kill them, shut their head off.
That's fucked.
So they tased him because like he was literally kicking the shit out of the fucking cops. The cops couldn't like subdue him and shit. So they got him in a straitjacket. So for some reason they thought he was calmed down because he stopped. He broke out of their straitjacket, punched the cop out, and then they just started fucking wailing on him.
Jesus.
And then that was that.
And so now where's he at? He's in jail.
Oh, he's in jail.
What was he?
Yeah.
What did he get in jail for?
Murder.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah.
It's fucked. Man.
Fucking Brock was telling me about it. Like I think like almost a year ago, fucking dude ran in a barbershop with another person, shot a guy dead.
That's so fucked, man. Like you could tell, like he had so many precursors that he was gonna do some fucked up shit when he grew up. I don't understand why these I don't understand why they don't figure that shit out.
Ticking time bomb.
Yeah, exactly, man. But yeah, man, that's some of our middle school. Yeah, we didn't grow up in the best, I guess, areas. But fuck.
We might be from Canada, but shit still went down.
Exactly, man. You remember that one time when someone threw a football at us? Were you there for that? Out of their car? No, it was like they threw a football at us. I don't know. And then I don't know if it was you or someone threw it back at their car. And then they stopped. Maybe it was Adrian that I was with. Someone threw a fucking football at us. It like dinged us. And then we chucked it back at their car and they stopped. And they like reversed up and we thought they were going to do some shit. But then we started chasing after their car and they fucking booked it.
I remember one time fucking dude rolled down his window with like a fucking, I think it was like, we thought it was a real gun at first.
Yeah.
Until he started fucking shooting it. Just rolled down the window, like literally going up Main Street and shit.
Oh, I think I was there. It was night and we were coming from.
Yeah, it was me, you, your little brother, and
Yep.
And he just fucking
Mike,
like
was Mike Dolman with us. Yeah, he went like they were driving by bumping music, and I don't know if it was like a fake gun or something, but they like rode past and they're like popping off like a cap gun or something, and we thought it was real, and we all fucking ducked. We're like, holy shit! I think he's like, hey motherfuckers, and then we're like, oh my god! I just remember like that was the scariest fucking moment. My heart was pounding after that. I thought that.
Bro, he's lucky we weren't older at that point. And he would have been fucking.
Yeah.
It would have been a wrap.
Yeah, that's fucked. And then I remember one time I was hanging out with you, and I forget who it was, but he was affiliated with the Bloods, and he brought a fucking real gun in his backpack, and he was like flashing it at us. I was like, holy shit, dude.
I'm not gonna say his full name,
Yeah, don't.
but
Yeah.
we were walking around, and he didn't like the fact that he was in an area that he didn't really know.
Yeah.
So he just,
which I think we were in a area called the Block, right? Like that was our.
We were slightly outside of it.
Yeah. And that was, what was it? Was it Blood territory? Or was that?
Well, mainly the whole West End is.
Yeah. And then downtown was kind of Crip territory, I remember, right?
More so on the East End.
Oh. Yeah, that was fucked. Yeah. That's, yeah. I mean, like, our growing up, man, we had to grow up fucking pretty quick down there, man. It's not the best place to live, but it is what it is. I remember, like, they took out the park. Remember the park, and then they fucking took it out? It was just like a gravel.
Not the Alexander one, or?
No, not that one, but it was like in between our buildings. Like behind my building.
Oh, yeah.
They fucking took it out.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. That's when the place started to go downhill. There was like fucking graffiti all on those back walls and shit like that. Like, oh, man.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. So, other than that, like, what games did you used to play? Like, we used to play RuneScape, right?
Yeah, RuneScape I was fucked with. World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's what you got me into. Basically, back in the day, how we got into gaming was like our parents kind of forced us into it in terms of they didn't want us like being bad kids out in the streets. So at least for me and my brother, we would always fuck around, like break windows and do stupid shit. And my mom put us into fucking baseball, and that just allowed me to have a baseball bat so I could take my little McDonald's toys. I would fucking bat them into people's windows and shit like that. It's the stupidest shit, you know what I mean? Just being a fucking asshole kid. And so then my mom, yeah, yeah. So then my mom finally bought us a PlayStation, and I was like, okay. She's like, you're staying inside. I was like, okay. So we started gaming, got into gaming, and then I don't know who showed me RuneScape. I don't even know who showed me RuneScape. Maybe it was Steve Long or something like that from school. I started playing it and then got hooked into that.
You were the one that showed me.
Yeah. I got hacked in RuneScape. I lost my party hat or something like that. I was pretty wealthy back in the old RuneScape. It was like worth a couple $1,000s in real life, and at that time I got hacked. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's worth
party hats and shit. I remember my brother having one around, I think like a year or two ago, and he sold it for like $5K.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
And that was like the least like.
Yeah, the least rare one. I had like a red one, and I think I had a Santa hat and a mask set or something, and I lost that after getting hacked, and I was just furious, and so I quit RuneScape. You know what I mean? You never quit RuneScape. You always have an account. So then I went on to World of Warcraft. You showed me it. I think it was around like Wrath of the Lich King area. Yeah. The start of Wrath you showed me. I wish I started sooner, because BC is fucking amazing after playing like private servers and stuff. I can't wait for BC. Vanilla's pretty good, but fucking BC's where it's at, I think. What's your favorite?
I just hate vanilla. Like fucking hunters are trash, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of upsetting.
Killed it for me.
Yeah. That's what kind of I played private servers and vanilla. I'm kind of waiting for AQ to come out to kind of get my foot back into WoW, because I've been doing this MC BWL, ZG fucking grind over and over on private servers. I just want to get it to AQ and Nax. That'll be the fucking fun times. And then TBC. But yeah, man. Played WoW pretty fucking hardcore. That's what kind of got me addicted into gaming. World of Warcraft and RuneScape. And then transitioned to Call of Duty, did that shit. What did you do kind of after WoW? When did you, quit?
When I quit, that's when I really started trophy grounding.
Yeah. When you quit, like you quit around like Wrath of the Lich King, end of it, or
Miss
Cataclysm? Miss? Or yeah, I also quit in Miss. Yeah.
Cataclysm, I kind of stopped. And then I saw like the one time I came to your place, I saw you doing Firelands or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll get back into it. So I renewed my subscription, and the moment they Mist came around and they took Hunter's mana pools out, I'm like, yeah.
Well, no, they took it out in Cataclysm, but they changed. Yeah, they changed Hunters like so many times. It just like didn't feel like the Hunter anymore, and so I just
I remember when they did that at first. Like, I think I quit in Kata and I came at the end of Kata because I remember you doing Deathwing with that little fucking one dude that was like having mental breakdowns.
TM Sean. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know Sean, it's TM Sean. He's actually partnered now. We can't talk about him because we're on Twitch. He's actually partnered now, so. But yeah, I used to raid like pretty fucking hardcore, top 5 US, and if you guys know World of Warcraft, like the #1 guild right now, the leader Max, like me and him used to be like best friends, and yeah, we used to raid together. If I was still playing WoW now, I'd be in the #1 guild, but fucking I don't know, I'm just not a fan of the retail experience, you know what I mean? Completely changed the game. I'm just not a fan of that shit. But yeah, man, that's WoW and RuneScape, dude. That's like the old times, man, back in the day when it wasn't called Classic or OSRS, what's it called? 2007 Scape. That was like back when it was actually the fucking prime.
You remember like the old school RuneScape?
What is wrong with today, dude? All the good games are all being remastered. Like they can't make any new good games. Like Call of Duty remastered, fucking World of Warcraft remastered, RuneScape's back, fucking Final Fantasy's back. You know what I mean? All the games that I like are like the old school games just remastered.
Thing back then, like all these developers actually knew what the fuck, like the game programmers and shit, they knew what they were doing.
Nowadays,
the moment money got involved, people got greedy and sold their companies or brought the wrong people as executives, and then it just went downhill ever since. Everybody's rushing their games out. It's like, for instance, like like Final Fantasy VII Remake took about the first part. It took like, well, they did have like other projects. They had 4 other projects, like Kingdom Hearts 3 and like Final Fantasy.
How did you like Kingdom Hearts 3? My brother, like everywhere I see, and my brother got it.
Oh, it's trash, bro.
Yeah, that's what everyone was saying.
I haven't even beaten it, bro. I played like maybe
it's so
3-4 hours of it.
Like they take these amazing games and they just like butcher them. They lose all sense of what it used to be. I just don't understand how they do it. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know it must just be the money, just the absolute greed.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, even when, for Blizzard's sake, when Activision came in, that's when their company started to drop.
Yeah, 100%, I agree with that. Yeah. And then they announced fucking Diablo Mobile, and everyone was like, Jesus Christ, it's over.
you look at Bethesda.
Yeah.
Impeccable fucking gaming record. Fucking Fallout 76 comes out.
Jesus, that was riddled with bugs.
It was fucking rushed.
Yeah,
it's literally the biggest fucking meme, period.
Yeah. All about money.
Assassin's Creed. Fucking, what are they?
I don't even know.
Ubisoft.
There's so many Assassin's Creeds. I don't even know what they're on now. It's just like remake after remake. They're just trying to run it dry, man.
I think it was Unity. They had to release a 20 or 30 gigabyte patch to fucking fix the game.
Dude, that feels like
I couldn't even play the game because there's this one mission where you're chasing, and this is like literally the beginning. You're chasing a homeboy across the rooftop, and you'd fall through and fail every time.
You literally couldn't beat the mission. It was just designed to fail.
So, legit just threw it in the fucking garbage. I'm like, this game's fucking trash.
Literally threw it in the trash. Yeah, I don't understand. Legit. Feels like that every new game has like some issues with it, and if it doesn't, it has like underlying like greed towards it. You know what I mean?
That's why I was happy with the remake, man. Like they actually took their time with it.
Good.
Like they're kind of altering the story a bit. Like I'm sure the second part's gonna be altering as fuck. But
I feel like
now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, like, I think they've had 20 years to think, like, yo, we could have did this and that. We should have. like how Aerith dies in it. Like there's in the game files throughout, even after when she dies, there's pictures of her standing with like the one Highwind, like the motor ship, and then there's through the coding and the final before you fight the final boss, like Genova and Sephiroth, you literally there's a section, and in the coding there's fucking a spot for her. And even in the debug room and shit.
So it's like callbacks to like what it used to be.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like it feels like most games nowadays are going down that free route where you get the game for free, and if you want the real experience, or if you want the items to make your guy better or look cooler, or you know what I mean, that's all extra money. And it feels like
microtransactions.
Yeah, microtransactions is definitely the way of the future, and it's a pro and a con. A pro in the sense that you get to play the game for free and you get to experience it, but they also kind of make it feel like FOMO, like your fear of missing out. They're adding these item shops that it's like, oh, it's the last day you can obtain this item. Make sure you get it, or else you're not gonna be able to see this one again. You know what I mean? And so people tend to spend more money on these free games, you know what I mean? But at the same time, the experience of the game, it's also lacking in a sense, because they come out with this game that's like, you know, half-assed in a sense. To get the full game, you have to spend all the money, and it tends to be more than what it could have been if you just bought the full game in a full game price. You know what I mean? I don't know.
They just need to start taking their time. It's like they don't realize motherfuckers have been playing.
They'll never fucking
like you look at Mario and shit, old school Mario. People will wait, man. Like they've been ripping Mario since the 80s.
Yeah, but again,
to this day,
Mario's like, it's like it's timeless. Just like, I bet you there's some people that play Mario nowadays that are like, I miss the old versions of like the old style of how they used to make levels. You know what I mean? Because now it's all, is it all 3D now? All the Marios?
Kind of.
Do they ever make the 2D platformer anymore type of Mario?
Well, they did back on N64.
Yeah, but
so it's kind of there. It's not like the fucking the NES version, but
yeah, it's just like how
they are like.
But
they in whatchamacallit, Mario Odyssey, there are aspects of it they troll it because you literally blend into a wall and does that like old school Mario feel and shit. They incorporated it, but it's not like full out like that anymore.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is just to re-emulate or just remaster the old games and keep the essence of it instead of the new games that they're coming out where it just feels completely like different. You know what I mean? I guess it could be a pro or a con, but if they're rushing it, yeah, they're just gonna do it wrong.
Like I'm pretty sure like Fallout 76, they gave them less than a year to finish the game.
Yeah, that's fucked. Did you ever? We both used to rap back in the day, and I guess we just kind of quit, man. But would you ever be interested in like rapping again?
I've thought about it. I just like looking at like how rap is nowadays.
Yeah.
Like freestyling, I'm not the best, but if I actually sit there and like take the time to write something, then I know it's gonna be heat.
Yeah.
Not so much like how I was back in the day. Like some of my old shit was just like, you're an idiot. But
you think there would be some like good fucking messages that you can bring into the world?
Well, now so like I'm more like quick witted in that because I watch like more so a lot of rap battling. So now I know like the wordplay and shit and like how to be like what people want to see, and then like old school hip hop. Just listening to some
the
of
lyricism, man. Like it feels like the new days, like it's cliche, but they just rap about their fucking money, their drugs, their bitches, and that's about it. There's no real fucking.
Nowadays, just fucking take a handful of chips, put it in your mouth, crunch them, and start talking and rapping. You're a fucking millionaire, bro.
Yeah, true.
Straight up.
Remember that? Yeah. Fuck. Do you remember back Hess Village?
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was fucked. So if anybody doesn't know, in Hamilton there's a place called Hess Village, and it's basically like the party area where all the clubs are and shit like that. And yeah, man. Is it still happening where people are getting stabbed like every week?
All the time, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that place
Well,
is
not
fucked.
so well with this corona shit going
True.
down now, but
Yeah.
like every time I went there, I ended up getting into a confrontation or a fight.
Yeah.
So I just stopped going there.
Yeah, me too. It was getting out of hand. You would always see someone getting stabbed up. There would be always police there, but they would like 2 police and there would be
Nah, it
like
doesn't matter.
1,000
Fucking-
people. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
2
dude.
cops ain't gonna fucking stop thousands of people.
Yeah. I'm thinking about moving back to Hamilton because right now, with this corona shit, well, my roommate's moving out. They got their own house, and it's hard to find an apartment up here. I'm trying to find a place, but I literally can't. Like everywhere that they want like $1,500 for like a fucking 1-bedroom apartment. It's fucking stupid, man.
So know where you get like a room you could rent.
That's what
for
I'm
the time
trying to
being,
find.
or-
I'm trying to find a room that's like every even if it's like renting a room in a house that someone's living in, it's like $800, $900. It's fucking insane. And then like the good places that you find, it's like not inclusive. So it's like 800, not including water, heat, and hydro. And so that's gonna be like a tacked on lawyer 400, 500.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. It feels like I don't know how. And I have a good job. I don't understand how people that like make minimum wage can literally live. I just don't comprehend it.
No, it's getting,
Like what's
it's
minimum
getting
now?
stupid now.
What's minimum now? 15?
In our country, I think it's 14 something.
Yeah, 14.50 or something like that.
Yeah, they raised it though, but
Yeah.
the price of everything went up.
It's stupid. They keep raising the price of minimum wage and it just raises everything else up. Now to eat like lunch, it costs like what? Like $25 for a lunch?
Pretty much.
I remember back in the day, lunch costed like $5 tops. And that was a burger or a couple burgers. It could have been a sub from Subway, like, you know what I mean? The $5 footlongs. Now like you go to Subway, it's like fucking $15. It's fucking insane, man.
What really ticked me off was because they were gonna raise it again, but it ended up not happening because the businesses were getting pissed off.
Yeah. Well,
I'm like, when the fuck did businesses dictate our country?
Yeah. Well, not only that, but what's it called? They raise minimum wage, and then everyone else's wage doesn't increase. So like when they raised it from like 11 to 14 or whatever, my job didn't increase my wage. So
nah,
now,
neither did mine.
Yeah, exactly. So the minimum wages just keep getting up and up and up, and now it's just gonna start pushing everyone up and up, and now we're all minimum wage. Because let's say 10 years down the road, minimum wage is now gonna be at $35 or some stupid shit. Or, you know, like 50 years down the road, it'll be at like $50, and everyone will be at that same baseline. I don't understand.
I didn't realize too. They're getting taxed more and shit.
Yeah, exactly. That too.
So it's like you're really
You
not.
bump up into the next tax bracket, and it's not like they're bumping the tax brackets with the minimum wage like they should. The tax brackets, I'm pretty sure, to stay there, and sooner or later, we're all going to be paying like so much fucking money in taxes, even though the burger will cost $100.
That's annoying. I get like taxed like for a paycheck, like 400.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking though. Like I kind of wanted coronavirus to wipe out our economy. And people might say like, well, that's fucking retarded. But no, I want everyone to realize that like money is nothing. And it's like, just reset the economy completely. Start from scratch. Everyone's in debt. And then if everyone's in debt, then it basically means that, I don't know.
But that's someone who the banks would literally control everything then. At that point.
They do. They already do.
Well, they do, but now they have like a legal reason to go about it, and then you're going to be a lot more harsh about. They'll just randomly tack all these random interests, and
that
you're
might
forever
start.
stuck.
That might start like an upheaval, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100% would. Motherfucker, you already know down in the
That's what I
States, they do not take shit like that, bro.
That's what I'm kind of hoping for, dude. I kind of want to just see shit just fucking bounce off the wall and go crazy.
What they need to do is just more so like find ways to like make everything cheap, lower the amount of shit.
They'll never be able to do that because everyone has their own businesses and they'll all just price it to whatever they feel like is worth it. And the labor, now that the labor is so expensive, they need to have their food or whatever set at a certain price so that they can profit. What I think
The economy is already screwed up.
Yeah.
It's already at that point.
I just want the economy completely crash so that they realize that UBI is necessary, in a sense that socialism kind of has to happen at some point or another, because you're going to have these rich elites that basically control, 90% of the capital, which is already happening, right? And they need to be able to pay for us to at least live. Like, if let's imagine a world where you have a whole country that the people who run the top companies like Google, Amazon, fucking all these top companies, right? They pay a decent amount in added taxes for everyone to live rent free. Let's say everyone lives rent free, right? Now you don't have to worry about paying your rent. You can then start actually building your equity and buying more shit if you need to, right? You'll actually be able to afford the stuff that you want, which will help the economy. You'll be able to save for your fucking future. I just don't understand why we don't do that. And people say
that's how it should be.
It should be, but people say, well, then Amazon will just leave. You know what I mean? They'll just leave, or Google will just leave your country. They'll not employ anybody there. But whoop-de-doo.
At the end of the day, they can't dictate shit. If there's 6 billion people that decide to go one way, they ain't stopping it. Period.
Exactly. And there would just be another, I guess, business that would overtake that, or like the grassroots businesses, like the mom and pop shops, will then come back into the fold, I guess, in a sense, right? Like, let's say Amazon, let's say that like Amazon was forced to pay 10% of the profits to the government. The profits, not the actual fucking money, just the profits that they make to the government. That would probably be, I don't know how much they make, but they make obviously like billions of dollars a year, right? That would at least be a couple billion that would then help out, and that's Amazon alone, people's rents. That would probably pay for a lot of fucking people's rents, right? $1 billion divided by whatever it is, 1,500 for rent.
Just literally not going to war for a fucking year would pay off for 100 years easily.
Right. And so exactly that too. But dude, the economy is like based off of war sometimes, man. You know what I mean?
That's how it's been built.
Yeah.
Because the people have allowed it to happen to get to that point. So at the end of the day, you look at a lot of, not to like bash old people and shit, but you look, they rely all information off the news.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's a false narrative, and even if that news reporter is lying and just being paid to read his little teleprompter, they're gonna believe it.
I've seen this YouTube video where basically like it's a script that they're all reading, and it just shows like 40, 50 different news stations saying something about like how their news has to be unbiased, but they're all reading the exact same line. It's fucking scary,
so like
man.
When you run the media, you run the narrative.
Yeah, it's true.
I think like when a lot of the boomer, like the baby boomers, like actually pass away, there's gonna be like
a huge change.
A lot of changes, like more so transitions to what it could either be a good way or even worse way. Like a lot of younger generations understand like racism is bad, like whole lot of shit, but it's more so racism's kept amongst like the older people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when they die, it'll kind of phase out. I feel like the news and TV is just gonna phase out. Everything's gonna go online, digital, independent media. Like shit like Reddit, or you know what I mean, that's gonna kind of thrive, and we'll see how that goes. But I think another thing that they need to start on is UBI as soon as possible, man. If we can all get UBI, which is universal basic income, they give us $1,000 a month, like kind of Andrew Yang was supported in America. If that actually comes to fruition, a lot of people say, oh, everyone's just gonna be fucking lazy, they're gonna be doing nothing. But think about what can that mean to somebody who's struggling, man. That can mean like rent's paid, you know what I mean? That can mean that they don't have to fucking worry about their future because now they're kind of secured in a sense. You know what I mean?
Not only that, they just make fucking schooling free, like college and university.
True.
Think about it. You got,
and now people are gonna
help that individual get to that situation where they can make money.
Yeah. So
at the end of the day, you're fueling your own economy.
Yeah, and people are gonna say like, where does this money come from? Who's gonna pay for all the education to be free? People like to say, well, let's take it from other funding. Let's subsidize it from the war, the military, and take some of that money out. Instead, I would just say take it from the fucking companies that are making the most money, man. All those greedy fuckers at the top. Take it from that.
Tax them, and then like literally, like I guarantee you, every military in this world, or every country in this world that has a military, one purchase of ammo could literally fucking, bam, there you go.
Yeah, fun to
one fucking
school.
bomb.
Yeah,
boom.
Yeah.
So people don't realize like how easy it could actually happen, but it's just money rules the world right now, unfortunately. The greed and shit.
And the money they could spend instead of making bombs could be fucking paying for our schooling and free education and shit like that. Yeah.
I feel like that like a drastic thing like that would really shake this world up is like if fucking like an alien intervention happened.
Yeah. That would be fucked, because I think that would instantly, if we were to prove, I know that there's lots of like conspiracy theories about aliens and shit, but if we actually had video evidence and proof, you know what I mean, actually here, then I feel like it would expedite the process of us all becoming like one unified world, is if that makes sense.
We'd have to be.
Exactly. I think it would.
There's literally no other choice. Yeah. And it just like, I feel like the sense of there actually is entities out there, we're not considered a threat yet. Like, we're at the point where we could simply either destroy our planet or ourselves with nuclear weapons and nuclear power, but we're no threat to them.
No.
You think entities that could travel across space and time are worried about us?
No.
We're like a little ant to them, if even that.
And if they are watching us, they're probably not even ready to contact us if they wanted to, because we're fighting in our own selves, basically, against each other. We're not unified as an actual collective.
Well, again, like there probably has been attempts, possibly. Like, obviously, it's going to be classified and shit. But think about it. Why would you want to give life extension the ability to go through space and time, inhabit other planets, to beings that will just take that and engineer it to ways to kill themselves, and then become a future problem to them?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
it's the human greed, man. We're like a virus. I've saw like a quote one time stating that humans are just the bacteria on the earth that are just here to kill everything off, and it feels like it, man. It just feels like we're here to basically fucking just use this planet up. And
but yeah, you got honest people and shit. I feel like more so people are just been programmed in the last like 50 years.
Just to be self-centered and selfish.
Consumers.
Man. Yeah, that's what it is, dude.
No one's like self-sufficient anymore. Everybody's a consumer.
That's true. I mean, yeah, it's kind of fucked up to think about it like that, but yeah. Through advertising and all that shit.
Where's the lighter? Say if this just stopped getting produced.
Yeah.
A lighter or any way to start a fire. Would you be able to do that? Or just sticks and stones?
Probably not. I would have to like fucking really work at it. It would probably take me a couple hours. It would be fucking horrible, dude. But
so imagine just learning the ability to go out anywhere you want, learn how to build a shelter, hunt your own food, either raise your own livestock at that point. Because if everybody went out hunting, food, like animals would be dead in like months.
So it would be interesting. Have you ever thought about an apocalypse situation?
I'm surprised we haven't had one yet.
Yeah. What do you think would happen like within the first like month? Like how many people do you think would be like dead in terms of let's say nobody got killed by anything, it's just like all the power went out and it just wasn't able to restart. There's some electromagnetic pulse that like wipes out all electronics and everyone now has to just find a way to survive. How many people do you think are going to
longer now? It's going to take a lot longer now, but the first two, after this coronavirus shit, because everybody's now more on a prepper mind state to where they're looking out like, hey, we got to look for the long-term situation. We need to have this on hand and that. And let's say the situation didn't happen and it hit within, just from at my work, in 2 days, our entire store was empty.
Yeah,
like
it was fucked.
Shot.
Yep. I remember
So the 2-day point.
Yeah, everyone was just rushing, buying toilet paper, water, fucking Mr. Noodles. Like, literally everything I have right over here. Here's my Corona supplies. I bet you have them as well. Like, everyone has their little Corona stocks set in the corner.
So you got that. So the 2-day point. Now you got a 2-week span to where that food's going to last. What happens when that runs out? Because it's still a point where it's so stressed on the system to get food to every store right now that like we're still not getting shit.
Damn, man.
Now that's when the bloodbath starts, when people, and that's like crazy. If you're on like if you have the money to do that. We're not like low, like if you're not in that situation, now you're robbing people and you're shooting people. So tens of millions of people are gonna die probably within the first week. No military is gonna be able to suppress it because
it's just gonna be locally. Like Billy fucking breaks into his neighbor's house to try and get some food, and then he gets shot in the face or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's
what I feel.
Put
like
it this way: I'm not from the States, and shit. But like, if you were to go into, let's say, what's a bad state? We're fucking Chicago, I guess.
Chirac.
If they didn't bomb the fucking shit out of there, and there's just a whole ground-to-ground war that went on, you know how fucking hard it is to even like clear the state in that manner?
Yeah.
They're not going. Just in their apartment complexes, they got fucking snipers anywhere. One sniper can hold down a platoon.
Yeah, that's fucked.
They literally have to like block by block, inch up, and under mass gunfire because they have the same weapons they do.
Yeah, all the people.
They just don't have tanks and shit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think military would be able to take anything in control. Like,
let alone that, how many would actually line up to shoot their own citizens?
Yeah, I don't know. I think half the military would instantly just drop out and try to like help out their families. You know what I mean? Like their real family
for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when that happens, bro, the gangs will take over. They will take over.
Yeah.
Period.
It'll be interesting.
Every country, up here, down there, over in Europe.
So
those are like, say if like our governments went rogue and went against us, they're gonna be the motherfuckers that are gonna be holding shit down. Period. Whether I know like some of them are gonna obviously be good, like their original intentions and how a lot of the gangs started. It was just like local neighborhood watch type sense, and then a lot of them got infiltrated by the CIA, and then that's when you see crack and all these drugs start flowing into their neighborhoods and shit.
It's interesting to see like how fast people's demeanor can change, you know what I mean? Put them under a little bit of stress, you know, make them a little bit scared, take away their food, and now, hey man, it's back to the primal being, dude. It's kind of fucked. But
hey, if that situation happens, I know I'm Gucci. Like, I know where sources of animals are. The only thing I'd actually have to understand more is plants. But which I can eat and which I can't.
Yeah.
Like mushrooms and shit. You eat the wrong mushroom, bro, you're gonna be blind. Tripping out for like.
I wouldn't even try mushrooms, man. I would just basically, if we're in that situation, I would try to find, I guess, like I don't know, somewhere that's safe enough and remote, and then I guess the best thing would do to just maybe go to someone's farm, kill them, and then
where you are at right now, bro, it's probably like a safer spot.
You would have to basically take someone's farm. I think that's the best thing to do.
It's like you're so far up north and shit.
Yeah.
Like the wooded lands that you could run to and that.
Yeah.
Like you're in like kind of in a city area, but if you outscape that, like you're pretty much set. You just need to know how to live off the land. But you can't just eat the same thing over and over again. You gotta mix it up, or you gotta fucking lose your mind.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the first like year, if there would be an apocalypse, like you would just be eating canned food from like fucking stores or houses that you find, like looting. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. But yeah, I don't even know how we got onto this topic. Something about fucking Corona wiping out the world or some shit. But yeah, man. What are some other things that you're interested in terms of like conspiracies that you think or theories that might be real?
0 point energy.
All right, explain that. You were
Uh,
talking to me about this.
so 0 point energy is like uh, the from the video that I was recently watching. Say like they took like a form of energy and brought it down to zero. Like say zero, like if you froze it, there's still that energy. Like that video that I linked you of the dude talking about it. There's a way that when energy conducts itself, there's like an offspray of it, and if you know how to harness that, like how Nikola Tesla made this one car that was running off batteries and it had like this attack, like I showed it in the video there. But when he went forward to like mass produce it, they're like, no, this doesn't have a meter on it. We can't make money off of it. So because it was literally just running off like a specific energy that's able to be harnessed, and he figured it out. Like multiple people did, but a lot of them just ended up dead because money at that point was controlling everything. Well, it always has, but
yeah, I didn't really look into it, but like it seemed interesting, and it seemed like it's almost like a different way to store energy on something like if you were to have a battery, right? How that stores energy.
Yeah, you literally run your just so like the air in this room. If you know how to harness that energy, like a cubic centimeter of that could run your house for like a year.
If you were to harness that for forever.
Period. So picture like if you know how to like perfectly like we do have the technologies and they're suppressed, but like governments have been working on it under the table and that, and it's only ever going to be rolled out when it absolutely needs to. Like when oil actually runs out, then that's gonna, because they're not going to make money off of it.
Yeah, but so you're not really talking about renewable energy. You're talking about a whole different kind of energy that is,
well, it's clean. Like it's just naturally here.
Yeah. But it's like
there wouldn't be no need for nuclear power.
Yeah, but it's not like energy, like it's not the renewable energy that we think of like hydro or wind or solar, right? It's like a whole different kind of energy that's just ingrainedly like in the universe. The
it's all
energy
around
of the universe
shit.
Basically is what you're saying.
It's like technically you say you were to call it mana in like Warcraft terms, like magic. That type of shit.
Like the energy that's all around us or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now imagine that, how quick that clean up pollution this planet.
Yeah.
If every house had that, no electric bills.
Yeah. We'll see what happens if they figure out how to harness something like that. It's almost like it's dark matter, if you've heard of that shit. They say that it's everywhere.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, they say that that's everywhere. It's so interesting, man. Like, it feels like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of technology. If we could just get through the like troubling times of like, you know, fighting each other. If we can like come together as like an entire world, not as like one nation, but like stop fighting and shit, I think we could progress so much better.
Think about it, like just look at like Trump's situation. I know mad people hate him and that, but what if the media wasn't constantly drilling him with him being colluding with Russia or a Russian agent? What if Russia and the States, in that 4-year period of time he's been president, what if they actually dropped their differences and progressed for a meaningful manner?
Yeah, it could have been a lot that would come out of it, but
the rest of the world would literally have to follow suit.
I mean, there could be bad that comes with it. Like, there's always going to be bad. There's always going to be shady shit in the background, but with the bad comes the good. And so I guess there's pros and cons to anything, right? It's just trying to foresight that and tell what.
As much as he is a fucking clown, but I feel sorry for the manner. Like, what if like shit, like when the two of the most strongest countries in the world decide to drop their differences and work for the greater good, no country is gonna stop them. Period.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
those are the two like countries that are like gun ho. Well, like you look at World War II, like look how many people from Russia died. They lost more than our country's population.
do you think that humans are capable of working together in a grand scheme of that, or do you think that greed and power and dominance will always inherently take over?
And it'll be there, but there are ways to like. You'd have to. It won't start with us, unfortunately. It'd be starting for the newer generations and how they're properly raised.
Yeah.
Informing them on like.
Do you think they're being
We have
raised?
to work.
Do you think they're being raised properly? It feels like newer generations. It's just like fucking TikTok memes, and they're not really.
Yeah, that's why like, man.
I feel like the newer generations, they're growing up really quickly too. I feel like since they have the internet at their disposal, you know what I mean? But is it too?
Yeah, they're growing up quick, but it's just like the ways that they are. They need to like steer off that path.
Yeah, but that's the hard thing, right? Yeah.
Like that's why I said it's not going to happen in our generation. But if we can aim for that path, then the future ones will have that point to where, well, it could happen in our generation, but it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of like.
Do you think
everybody working on the table?
Do you think immortality will be an actual thing where we can almost like no, never?
No.
What about like not immortality for us, but like a copy of us that would be able to live on forever? Let's say they download, they map the brain, pinpoint perfect every neuron, every node of your brain, and they were able to copy that, and then almost simulate that in another human kind of like generated 3D printed brain that like is perfectly exactly like yours with the same synapses.
Let me rephrase what I just said too. Like your soul is eternal, your body isn't.
I see what you're saying.
That's how I look at it.
And you feel like, all right, so when you die, what do you think happens when your body dies? Do you think your energy just disperses into the universe and you're there, or do you believe in like an afterlife, or do you believe that we're a simulation, or like what's your theory?
I don't believe we're so much of a simulation, but I do believe our energy, like our soul, will return back to the universe, or so this planet, and then it's just through some of the like Egyptian and Sumerian things that I looked at. There were talks about being able to take your previous life's memories and your thoughts and all your experiences and knowing how to transfer it into your next.
But do you believe in that? Do you think there is an almost like a cycle of lives that you live?
Yeah. So
I guess a question I would have for that would be, is that almost like the multiverse you're saying? Like it's like your different lives are happening simultaneously at the same time, or indefinitely? Like you've always
different periods of time.
Okay, so you think that like you used to live in the 1400s and then you died and then you came back in the 1500s.
But it wouldn't be the same body though. It's just
it'd be different,
your soul. Okay. You're in a different vessel at that point.
So in that case, and you feel like every time you die, you forget yourself and then you're reborn, right?
I feel like there's always those major leaps or pages that were forgotten. I think when our creation, I don't think we evolved here. We didn't fucking evolve from primates, and I think we were like legitimately created and put here in an experiment.
In like a simulation.
Not like a simulation, like we're in a real time thing, but we're not like a computer, like you're like in essentially like an experiment simulation, but like not so like a digital like computer type sense.
Okay, so who is the tester? If we're just an experiment, who would be the professor that's running this experiment?
Well, they have different names. Like each like some call them the Anunnaki, the sky gods, like, because like if you look at the Sumerian kings list,
Mm-hmm.
you look at the lifespan, it goes from like tens of thousands of years, then drops. Now you're at a 1,000 years, and then it drops down to what our lifespan is. So who's to say the ability to, like how I said earlier, to take those thoughts and transcend them into a different life? Who's to say that we don't use our brain fully, but they purposely made that way so it can never happen?
So I have a question then. If we're constantly being reborn, is it instant? So let's say you die, I don't know, let's say you die tomorrow. Will at the exact same time, will you be born again? Or will it take you, like you said, the pages are missing a couple years or maybe a couple months until
I could take thousands, bro.
Oh, okay, I see. So the energy is just like transferred back into the
it's
universe
there.
and then re-accumulated into, I guess, another being? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like you actually have your memories that are transferred into their brain or anything like that.
But it just stays with your soul. But like you'll be able to remember about your past experiences in your previous life.
So then I have a question on that then. My question would be, who was the first being in that case? There must have been a first, right?
You have to. In Sumerian text, there's. Well, you got like Toth and stuff like that. That's more like so much like Egyptian type shit. But
so the only flaw I saw when I hear people talking about like being reborn again, the main flaw would be the fact that our population keeps on growing. So let's say you were to be reborn, whatever, tomorrow. Then who's the other baby that was also born tomorrow? Because our population is growing and growing and growing. And it feels like if you are constantly being reborn and I'm constantly being reborn, who's the newest guy that wasn't constantly being reborn? Can there be instances that are just, this is the first time that they've ever been reborn? Is there firsts?
I think so, yeah.
And so then
there has to be.
And is there ever instances where you cannot be reborn again, where you're done?
See, that's where, in the sense, like, that's where I figure like the whole hell thing came from.
Where like if you've been bad like this life, then you don't get reborn.
I personally don't believe like I believe you go into a negative spot, but in the same manner, like say one goes to heaven and one goes to hell, but you both transition into a newer life. Like I feel there's the negative and the positive. You go through it, and then you're back into it. But who's this? I honestly don't know. There could be that void where you're done.
See, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is what I think happens. Do you remember? All right, this is a little experiment, a thought experiment. Do you remember before you were born? Yeah. You don't.
Well, I've had like random dreams I could possibly like.
Yeah, you possibly could think that. Yeah, but ideally, when you try to think, you don't remember anything. It's just a void. It's nothing. I feel like when you die, that's most likely what's going to happen. It's just going to be a void and it's going to be nothing. All of our memories are just going to be gone, I guess, in a sense. It's going to be, I don't even know. It's hard to think because it's hard to even wrap your mind around, like, this is just a blip in time, right? That we're experiencing our 100 years. Let's just say we live to 100. This is like a blip. It's like even a 0.00001% of a YouTube video you can think, as the universe is a YouTube video, and we're at one indefinitely small second in this YouTube video. That's our lifespan. And
I need to find there's a video that I watch. I forget who someone linked it to me. This was like years ago. And like that was originally telling me about the subject. There's a kid that he was telling us like they thought he was crazy or whatnot. He's like, oh, I fought in World War II, and like, or like I think it was the Vietnam War. Yeah, it was the Vietnam War, and his plane got shot down in the jungle. So first, I don't know who was the funder of this. They're like, okay, where did you die? They took him to the exact spot, said the exact name, and took him to the plane crash that they couldn't find beforehand. It was like, this is where I died, and the dude's dog tag was still there and shit.
Yeah.
I was
See,
like,
that's
damn.
so fucked. I don't know if, yeah, but it, like, the thing is, when I hear stories about this type of shit, you want to believe, but at the same time, like, I always know, like, there's probably some people in the background that are greedy enough to want that attention that they would make their kids say this shit and set it all up kind of thing. But you never know, like, both possibilities could be true, right?
The whole reason why I like somewhat believe into it and shit, like, I look at the Egyptians and the Mayans and the Sumerians. They mapped the solar system before we did with sticks and stones.
Yeah, you feel like so they had some type of help, or no?
Yeah, they were definitely shown it, and that's why you see those hieroglyphs with them standing with like beings and shit.
Yeah,
or they're sky gods and shit like that. They didn't just naturally learn that themselves. Like, how does someone walking through a desert just, there's Mars.
Yeah,
there's where Sirius or fucking whatever the fuck the planets are called and shit, like they're odd one, like where fucking gray aliens are apparently from. They map every to the exact planets, and they even add the one that does like what people call Nibiru, as like that does that huge.
Yeah, the huge arc and only comes by Earth or whatever every so often or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
They talk about the time when the moon wasn't here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even like there's African tribes that'll go into like ancient Zulus and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people say that like ancient tribes used to be contacted by aliens, but I don't know if that's the case. I feel like...
Why not? Like legit, even the Aborigines in Australia, they have a thing called Dream Time. Where they can predict the future.
Like a Nostradamus type of thing?
No, like where they go into like an outer body experience and like can literally see the future and tell you it. It's like remote viewing.
Yeah, but how accurate is that?
Very. So the US and Russian like militaries directly like heavily invested into it.
I remember hearing
to where I could be in a room right here. You can walk into your room right there, place an object on the table, and I can see
out what it is. Yeah, I remember that. I reading a documentary on that, but I don't think they had any correlation with like it actually coming into like actually be.
Oh, it's a legit thing, bro. There's this one motherfucker that like with one of the greatest ones that did it. He was able to remote view places on Mars that NASA was looking at. And he had no prior knowledge of it.
I would need to see like actual evidence of that because it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's pretty insane.
I need to link the video. Just look up remote viewing. I forget the dude's name.
Because
it's been a minute.
Yeah, because there's always going to be those people who are duping you. You know what I mean? But I would like to see like if that's actually the case. Because
that one dude I linked you to, he talks about it as well. And he has like more like backed up evidences and shit. Like he apparently can contact aliens and shit.
Yeah,
and, like,
that's a little bit insane.
Have them. But he actually got a document from the fucking French president to like use their airspace because the United States doesn't allow him to do so.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Because he's the one that's been briefing the last like 4 or 5 presidents on the whole UFO phenomenon.
All that shit's like interesting to read about, but like I always have to like see hard evidence before I can like say anything seems realistic, right? Like remote viewing, that sounds insane. You know what I mean? It sounds like impossible to do. But I would have to see like you would have to have some type of like control, like you said, where you put a specific object that he's never seen before, or get a random person to put a random object of their own onto the table, and then he'd be able to describe it in detail. That would be fucking, that'd be scary.
You also gotta put and portray like the individuals that don't want you to know that. And are gonna put out false information to hide the reality of being able to do that.
Yeah.
Just imagine if everybody could do that. Say you just remote viewed into Area 51 or S3 or S4 or over in Europe, all their secret bases.
You would be a
You
god
really see what's
technically at
going.
that point. If you could like mind vision into places. Almost like that movie
That's
Jumper.
why you don't. That's why you don't really hear about it so much anymore. Because I guarantee you, the CIA and the Spetsnaz like messed around with it so much
Yeah, you
that
think people are actually using this, eh?
like they like, man, like this is serious. Anybody could just like, boom,
Okay.
here's this base.
So
where I'm looking at you right now and you can't even see me.
If you think the remote viewing is possible, do you think like being able to control things with your mind is possible?
No.
So like not, do you believe in like lifting objects with your mind and shit like that? Or just like and how would you be able to do that then?
Telepathically. When you think about it, if you we're not at the level in a society yet to be at that point, but the individuals that are not, should I say, the beings that the whole Roswell incident, the actual aliens that were recovered from it, the whole craft was ran telepathically. But they're at a state and their species
that
where they've probably like messed around with that for probably tens of thousands, if not millions of years to perfect it. We're not at that point yet.
I wonder how that even happened, because like I can't, it sounds insane, but like I can't prove or deny anything, I guess, in a sense, much like I guess none of us can, because none of us have that power, right?
A good person to look up is Bob Lazar and Phil Schneider.
Yeah, I saw
Bob Lazar was the one that exposed Area 51.
Yeah, I saw him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and it seemed
Phil
pretty
Schneider was a underground geologist for the United States military, and he had like equal security clearance as the president.
It's gonna be interesting, man. Yeah, because there's clearly a lot of shit that we don't know about the universe, but I want to know if it's true, if that shit's actually true, and that could be done. I would have to see it to believe it. That's the sad part.
So a lot of all the older interviews, I know it's true because those people are no longer alive. They've just been found dead and committed suicide.
Yeah, I mean, there's clearly like cover-ups that the government doesn't want you to know about, but there's so much information that is like lost because of this classification that it's hard to actually tell which is true and which is false.
And that's another thing too. They need to stop classifying shit from the natural public.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it, dude. People wouldn't be in a panic. Let's just hypothetically say that you can move this this jam with my mind. I can make it float in the air in whatever, if I were to try hard enough. If that is true, then obviously they don't want that information being out. Why would they? Because now everyone can control shit with their fucking mind. And then it would just be fucking chaos, dude. You know what I mean? People would be throwing knives into people's throats with their fucking mind. It would be horrible, man.
Well, think about it. In a being standpoint, if you were to come down and like help our species, we'll call it our species. Yeah. Would you want us to teach us that in the state we are right now?
No, definitely not. I would not.
I find like that.
If they're just going to use it against each other for greed.
Ever since we've detonated our first atomic bomb, we've been under like strict surveillance from them. So that's when mass UFO sightings have been started to be seen ever since that day.
That's what people say. Yeah, it's interesting to think about that. But yeah,
because now we're at a level to where we can literally destroy ourselves or the planet.
That is true. Yeah. Do you think there'll ever be a time where we completely denuclearize?
No.
No.
Until free energy point comes out. That's the only. Well, I shouldn't say no. In a certain amount of time, yeah, but there's going to be more replaced items that could just like completely end us.
Yeah.
At any point, if it's in the wrong person's hands. But say if we lay down our militaries and only had them to like defend out of an outsider threat. Say if we were in contact with aliens, then
I'm not even thinking that. I think like, what do you think is going to be the destruction of humanity? You think it's going to be nuclear war? No. What do you think it's going to be?
Greed.
Greed. Well, what's
Greed and pride.
what do you think the greed's gonna do to end civilization?
Well, it's like how it's been like controlled in the manner. Like, look at the original bankers.
Yeah.
They've literally, their bloodlines ran history.
Do you think that there's gonna be a time where we're basically enslaved?
We already are.
Yeah, technically you can say that, right? Like we have to work a job that we have to, provide for ourselves from.
The best way to put it, if it keeps going down the route that it is right now, we're at that point where we can either proceed as a species, come together and venture out, whether we fix our planet first and then venture out, stop all the bullshit, or those individuals are going to actually enslave us. And the only way we'd be able to get out of that system is outside intervention. If they want to intervene, because who's to say they don't have rules that we have to let these people figure it out themselves? Like, we'll meet them halfway, but we're not going to give them all the answers. They have to meet us halfway first to show the efforts there in order to do so.
Yeah. It's really something to think about. I think the way civilization would end, if it were to end, it would be through some type of like asteroid event. Like asteroids come in, it fucking destroys Earth, or it hits Earth, like not even a massive asteroid, but like enough to cause something like the blackout of the sun through the dust of the asteroid hitting the Earth.
Did you hear about that one that just recently passed a few days ago?
No, I didn't.
There's one that was literally 10 kilometers long that was actually a chance of hitting the planet.
Fucking hell, man. Yeah, we need to have some sort of thing on Earth that can shoot a nuclear, like we need to have some type of nuclear like cannon that will fend off asteroids, I think. Like basically,
I don't think it's going to be nuclear. It's going to be like
some type
of... It's more so of a beam, like a particle beam type shit.
And it like...
bro, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Think about what's real, like... Think about all the countries and their secret bases. They have some shit that we will know. That's why the Space Force is getting rolled out. Like now, so much shit's going on in space, they can't hide it no more.
Yeah, I don't know, but like we'll see what it actually turns out to be. But at some point, we need to like actually learn how to fend off of asteroid attacks, because I feel like that shit's going to be the downfall of humanity. Just like how we weren't prepared for Corona, this is going to be the same thing. We're going to prepare way too late. We're in a time where we prepare after it's already happened. Like we're reactionary. We're not actually prepared for anything, man.
I feel like this is gonna like really
wake people up. This Corona shit.
Like, but governments don't really understand too. When this shit dies down, they're fucked. Like, I feel like
the economy's already
if revolutions don't start, World War III will.
Yeah, you think so, eh?
Because now,
what kind of revolution?
The fingers are gonna be going this way, that way. You did this, you did that. Oh, you didn't back us up in this situation, and boom.
There's gonna be a lot of tension, like there already is. But yeah, you might be right.
It's gonna be all-time high now, bro. All-time high.
I could see that happening. Yeah, America already looks divided, man. You have the people who are... Have you seen these anti-lockdown protests?
Yeah, like, yo, bro, that video you showed me, cough on me, bro.
Yeah, cough on me. Cough in my face. Yeah.
No, you gotta link to that shit. I need to show my buddy that. I was telling him the other day about that shit. Dude. That's fucking house.
Honestly, like, these protests are... It's ridiculous. It's like, dude, you have to stay inside to stay safe because this shit's real, but half of the world is believing that it's not a issue. Which I guess it's not to them.
It is, bro.
I guess it's not to them, right? Like, whatever, you're young, you're healthy, but when you transfer this to the rest of the people who aren't, that really fucks it up. And there's some people saying that they want the old people to die so that there's less strain on the fucking the government and the system.
No, the old people aren't putting. Those are the dudes that built. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there are like some old people that'll piss you off, but it's just like even young people. There's a natural like normal young people, and there's just fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Every like ethnicity, like species, there's just that fucking idiot that's just gonna cause shit.
Yeah, it's
but you can't generalize all old people and shit under that. Like even at my work, I got ones that are acting like complete assholes, and then I got the elderly that are coming up, thanks for doing what you're doing and risking your life. You got those individuals, so you can't like generalize them all. But
yeah, that's true, man. I don't know, man. I think this society needs to start working together instead of against each other. If they,
yeah, I don't even think like it's not so much of an age anymore, bro. This shit's like just all about your immune system.
yeah, man, it definitely is. Yeah, they're talking about young people getting in and shit like that, but that's what they don't understand, man. They're just going out, they're partying, they're being stupid, they're hanging out with friends, and they're not being safe. And that's why you see America over 1 million cases, and it just keeps on growing and growing. And these people who are saying
crazy.
that they're just gonna end the lockdown, and they're thinking like, all right, we'll have 1 month on lockdown, then 1 month off of lockdown, and make it like that so it's in waves. But even then, like, this is just gonna keep on fucking your economy over and over.
So no one's gonna listen, unfortunately.
Yeah, people won't listen. People will listen, but still get fucked by the people that won't, and it'll just be, it's a fucking mess, man. But we'll see how what happens when this is all said and done. I hope that the society becomes more prepared for not just this type of shit, but anything that can happen. I think people will be a lot more open-minded, after this, hopefully. Or like you said, it could just cause mass chaos. Fingers pointing. And
I feel it's gonna be some more on the chaos side, but a lot of people are gonna. I hope this is like.
This is definitely a learning time in history. Like, this is going to go down in the history.
I feel like if there ever is going to be a revolution, this is the awakening point.
Yeah.
Because how many people have had the time to sit down and actually like
think about shit,
watch and read things, and think about
watch the government failing them, basically. Watching literally the government fail them.
It's not only the United States. Like I can't really blame like presidents and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no stopping it.
Yeah.
You could have one person enter your country that you didn't know they had it, and next thing you know, boom.
It's a reaction of the government that
like China. Like I'm not trying to blame the blame on China, but their government should have handled it a lot more properly. When that first individual started talking about it,
should have been a full.
They should have just shut everything down.
Yeah, I'm upset with Canada because they didn't shut the borders down. They're like, no, even to China, they said they'd allow flights over to China. They're just screening better. But like, what does that even mean? Screening better when you can't even tell if someone has anything or any symptoms half the time. It just makes no sense. So it's just like,
and there's no weather effects stopping it either. When people say, "Oh, it's if you go into a hot climate, it's gonna stop it." Yeah. No, look at Iran, bro. Look at India.
Yeah. It's fucked up, man. But I hope that we prepare for a little more than just a fucking seasonal flu. When this is all said and done, like asteroids hitting, if anything, a global warming, shit like that, man. Like
when this does die down, anybody that's legit listening to that, stock up. From a standpoint from someone that works at a grocery store, this is only the beginning.
Yeah.
Watch when like people can't affording shit. When starts getting shut down, people have to pay back all that EI or government assistance they just got.
Yeah. This is
then watch what happens, yeah.
I think the government needs to do what I said, man. They need to take the 10% of the profits from all the fucking businesses that make over $1 billion every year, take that money, give it to the fucking people. Okay, it will allow us to be freed from the jobs that are taken over by automation. Like, honestly, think about it. I feel like in another 10 years, there's going to be no person working in fast food. Why? They're going to have a menu that you click. You already see it at McDonald's. You click, I want this with extra mustard and no ketchup. And then in the next thing, what will happen? You'll have a robot that will say bun, patty, cheese, mustard, ketchup, bun, and package it off and send it right into your face, right? I feel like there's going to be nobody needing to be working in any fast food restaurants. That's already millions of jobs gone. The fucking trucking industry, that's going to be all taken over by robots. You know what I mean? Driving is going to be more dangerous having a person at the wheel than a fucking robot. I feel like in like another 25 years.
Trucking not so much, bro. Because
Dude,
like all it
honestly,
takes.
think about it like this, dude. I think in 25 years, maybe let's be more realistic. 50 years from now, I think they'll start phasing out people being able to actually drive a car. I think it'll be more dangerous to have people on the road than just it all automated. I feel like that's actually what's going to happen at some point.
All it takes is one hacker to hack into the system or glitch the system.
True.
And
But there'll be
done.
manual overrides. I feel like there'll be manual overrides, but I don't know. I feel like shit's going to go that way. I feel like it did.
Man,
we'll see.
Well, there's a way. There's a will, there's a way. Look at hackers nowadays, bro. They can watch government facilities and not be traced.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is click a button. They can shut your fucking system down.
Yeah. I don't know.
One big enough DDoS.
We'll see how that goes.
Individuals that understand, like, it's gonna happen eventually, but it's gonna be when they do release that, it's gonna be flawed as fuck.
Oh yeah.
But it's gonna take a while before that
that's
ever
what I'm saying,
actually
happens. I think 50 years because it feels like technology's on an exponential rise. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's why like the whole like back to the evolution shit. How the fuck did we just progress
to this point
from 1900 to now so quickly that in the
think about
ages we advanced?
Computers came out like personal computers. I know like back in the military they had computers, but like personal computers came out around like year 2000s, right? Around then. Look where we're at now, dude. Look at where we're at now. This is fucked. We would never be in a place where we would think that we would be able to be on video, broadcasted to hundreds of people, perfect audio, perfect video quality. It's so crazy, man. And now imagine
we've had assistance.
What is that? That's 20 years. Imagine the next 20 years, dude. We're gonna be doing shit that we don't even. We're gonna be using stuff that we don't even know. Some type of implant.
Next 20 years, there's gonna be life extensions.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Not so much for us, but a younger generation.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna be able to extend it a little bit further, but the younger generations are probably gonna be able to live to 200 or more.
Oof, that would be insane.
Like, we'd probably cap.
You think like the people born at like 2050 will be able to live to 200? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Through what? Through like DNA regeneration or some type of weird shit like that?
That or
anti-cancer or something like that.
By then we'll have like cures are already there. It's just they don't like the size of the population and they make money off of people dying. So
that's what I'm thinking, dude. I feel like the medical industry is
like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, I think the medical industry is hand in hand with the fast food industry because people eat like shit. They get these diseases from eating all this processed fucking trash. And then the medical, what do? Instead of actually telling them, hey man, eat a clean diet, eat some more vegetables. Instead of saying that, they're like, here's some fucking pills. Here's some of these pills. Here's some medication. Have fun. You know what I mean? They don't give you the fucking actual like key to making yourself feel better.
So it's like, what's his name? Hitler's right-hand man, when he died, he confessed that HIV was actually created in the laboratory, along with a few other things. Yeah,
that's fucked.
But I need to like, link you the videos I watch. Like, I'll link you more, but that one guy I linked you is like more. He's very good at explaining things.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I chose that specific one. You know, he's the full like. He does interviews with former government employees. They have to show like in order for him to even like acknowledge your existence, you have to show, well, not should I say existence or get an interview with them. Fucking, you have to show your security clearances, like everything. He gives you like a full down rundown, and he's got motherfuckers in the CIA and the FBI that'll actually background check you.
Yeah, that's next
level. Obviously under the table, but like this motherfucker's been briefing like governments for a while on this whole situation.
That's next
because
level,
like the whole reason why he hasn't been charged with treason is because you got a rogue element working under the table without the president's.
Yeah, that's always gonna happen, man. I feel like the president is just a fucking figurehead, man. There's always gonna be the. Yeah.
That's long gone.
Yeah, I feel like there's people in the background that are like obviously running the show, and they just tell the president what to say. You know what I mean? And then obviously this president's not that good at doing that, but you know, he has his own mind, but like he's obviously not.
Don't get me wrong, he's fucking clown, but like business wise, he knows his shit. But other than that, he just needs to stay the fuck off of Twitter.
Yeah, agreed with that, man. He's making himself look like
social media got him presidency, but he needs to stay the fuck off of it, running his mouth.
Yeah.
No president should be allowed on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm with that. I think we're in agreement there. Well, hey man,
like he started strong the first like year or two, but the last 2 years, dude just been making horrible decisions.
He's not a. I don't know, man. I think it was a joke from the start, but yeah, that's. Who do you think what you would want in presidency? I was wanting Bernie or Andrew Yang. Those were my two that I wanted in.
I don't even know who's in it. I just thought,
yeah. Fucking Bernie got kicked out, and now it's Biden. Aye, man.
Trump's gonna win it
I think Trump's gonna win versus Biden because Biden can barely put a fucking coherent sentence together. I need to link you a video of him just fucking mumbling about nothing, dude. The guy's like, we've been going here for 17, yeah, we've been going down the road, and he's just on about nothing, man. He's just making up.
The only person that would have beat fucking Trump was Bernie.
Bernie, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I think Trump has the next 4 years, man, honestly, and it's sad to say because it's not looking good for America, man. It's gonna definitely piss people off. He's
gonna get impeached in a second term, though.
Sorry, what? He'll get impeached.
I feel he'll get impeached in a second term.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We thought so. He would be impeached. They did the whole impeachment process, and
I already know, like all that shit was just boasted. Like the thing is, like they spent more time fucking trying to pin shit on the man falsely than actually bettering their country. So that goes to show that other side of the spectrum, liberal and conservative, they have no interest.
Yeah,
they just have their own fucking agendas that they want to push.
Yeah. That's always been the case, but it's more apparent now than ever. You know what I mean?
That's the biggest problem is those two parties. There should be they need to be abolished.
They need to have a third party system, just like Canada. I feel like Canada is a lot more fair because we have 4 parties basically. We have the Conservatives, the Liberals, the fucking NDP, and the Green Party, right? And it feels like there's a lot more choice instead of just here's one evil and here's the other one. Pick your poison, you know what I mean? Hillary Clinton or Trump.
If Hillary didn't have as much blood on her hands and I already know all the sketch shit her and Bill were involved with, I would have chose her.
I'm with you, man. Well,
but Trump was even though he's a bit of a fucking goof, he was a clean slate.
Yeah. And he told it like it is, and that's what people liked about him. It was just a meme too. Everyone who was memeing, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey man, fuck it, let's vote for Trump. Fuck it, yo, let's just see what happens.
The amount of censorship on independent medias.
I'm not even lying
because they realized how powerful it really was.
Yeah, that's the funniest part, right? Like they were literally censoring him so much.
Presidency.
People just did it. It was like a middle finger to the establishment in a sense. That's what Trump vote was. I would have voted Trump too, just for the fucking memes. If those are my 2 options, like fuck, like what am I gonna do? Support a war criminal? That's fucking.
I'd love to see a woman as president.
Yeah,
like that'd be interesting to have that happen. Like I saw the world's first black president.
Yeah,
that's neat to see in a lifetime. Who would have thought that would ever happen?
Yeah, Tulsi's pretty cool. She's a candidate for the nomination, but yeah, now that's gone because Biden got in. So, R.I.P. They need to have a third party, like an independent party. I think that rises up after this. Like
I don't think any
Tulsi, Andrew
president though. They should go for it because they all are just gonna further their own husbands' agendas.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It should be like a fresh.
I think politics. This is what I think politics should be, man. Honestly, there should be no parties. There should be none of this and none of that. There should be like a round table that you have the leading mathematician, the leading farmer, the leading doctor, the leading, the best person in that field, the leading engineer, the leading fucking archaeologist, the leading space explorer. Have them all voted by their I guess like demographics. So if I would be able
That's
to
kinda
vote, what's up?
it's kind of like whatchamacallit, the Senate or whatever they
Yeah,
have.
basically, yeah. Why isn't that an actual thing? Where then they are a figurehead for their uh field in a sense, right? So like if there's any farming issues, like we're getting massive droughts or we need more this and more that, they would talk to the actual figurehead for farming, and then the agricultural guy would then be able to go to the round table and actually bring these issues, you know, up with everyone.
I think they do have like a committee like that, but not so like to the same
Bro,
where they could actually like dictate for the country.
but
That's what they
it
need.
feels like right now, it feels like, yeah, they're like lobbyists or something like that, right? And in the fact that people are paying money in order to get their issues resolved. That's what it feels like. You know what I mean?
One of the main things is motherfucking businesses need to stay the fuck out of the elections,
Yeah,
period.
well, that'll never happen, man. That will never happen because there's always greed. There's always going to be inherent greed of politicians, man. They'll always
But I
accept
didn't
bribes.
even watch raw video footage of people like fucking voting for Trump and then just automatically select Hillary. That shit was rigged. You got like dead people voting for Hillary that haven't been alive for like
Yeah,
10
I
years.
heard about that. Yep. There's been some fucked up shit, man. And that's all have to do with the new fucking the new technology, man. The new technology that they're allowing for their voting systems that are being rigged by like Russia and shit like that. Like other countries are like meddling in the elections and shit.
With anything.
Well, not probably the government, but I don't even know. People are saying it is the government, but there's someone that was meddling with the elections, and that's just like scary to
Oh,
think.
it's definitely a great party. Like that lady has mad connections, bro.
Yeah.
Like
But
period. She
yeah. Also for
look at all
Trump's
of her
side,
like associates. Like how many of them are dead now,
yeah.
and even to this day, and one of the Epstein's guy's right hand man, he just got found dead in a forest.
That's fucked. Yeah.
Epstein was killed in prison. Like you got one of the main Supreme Court judges randomly found dead in like a hotel. Like, do you like where like why aren't these patterns being fully investigated?
I remember there was like I forget who exactly it was, but there was like a minister or something like that that was killed, like a Saudi Arabian or something like that, that was killed in the what's it called, the embassy house, and they were trying to cover it up. It was fucked. It was all over the news. I forget who it exactly was, but like that shit like goes on, and it's like holy fuck, and then nothing happens to that country that like killed him over there. You know what I mean? It's just like go on business as usual because they don't want to start some type of war. So there's people with a lot of power, and it's fucking kind of scary to see, you know, how like one person can have so much power.
It's like gangsters and shit that could literally bleed countries dry if they really wanted to.
Yep.
Into a recession, and that's the problem.
Yeah, we rely too much on government, I feel like.
It's gonna change now. I feel like, yeah, gardening and shit. Like people are gonna have their own gardens. Like they're gonna buy a lot more deep, like be able to freeze dry or like.
Yeah, they'll learn a lot more about surviving on themselves and being off grid. Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee you, like a lot of middle class and like higher class families are gonna stock at least 3 months worth of food. Like
Agreed.
I understand freeze drying and shit like that. The ones that do, they're gonna start doing so.
All right, let's see here. Do you have anything else you want to bring up? We're closing at the 2-hour mark. I don't know if anybody in the chat has any questions. This is a live broadcast, so sorry chat if we've been ignoring you guys, but if you have any questions, you can post in the chat. We have subscriber mode on, so only subs can post. But if you have anything else you want to bring up, Young, any other interesting topics? I think we went over a lot, man. We went over a lot, man, about our gaming pass, real life history, some deep conversations politically, and yeah, man. I think this is a good episode, man. I think we could leave it on that and call it a wrap.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. Yeah,
to have another one in the future if need be.
Exactly.
Get more material and shit.
Yeah, it looks like we don't have too many questions in the chat. So All right, we're gonna call it at that, boys and girls. Thank you for stopping by. Young, where could they find you at, man?
YouTube, YungB's Fried Gaming, my Twitch, YungB905, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I will be making a TikTok, and I have an Instagram, YungB905 as well.
Wicked. So yeah, you're also propagating all your content. That's really good, man. Keep on grinding, brother. And yeah, thank you for coming out to the podcast, man. Take care for now.
Thanks for having me.
All right, take care, everybody.
Peace.